Well, hello. Today we are making stickers. So, the way that I make mine is on an iPad. This is just a regular iPad. It's not the iPad Pro, but it does support the Apple Pencil. And I use a program called Procreate that I think was $10. This is by far the easiest way that I have figured out how to do this. I tried to do it through Photoshop and Illustrator, and it was just a big old pain in the butt. So this is super helpful, super handy. So in here, gonna go ahead and get myself on in here. So there is right here, this is the program that I use, it's Procreate. So right here, I already have sort of a little bit of a rough sketch of some of the big mushroom shapes that I want. So the canvas size that I use for my stickers is 4 by 5 inches. So if I go over to my gallery, you can see all the other things that I've done. So this is just a 4 by 5. I'm gonna open that up. Over here are the different layers, and so my first layer I do as basically like a pencil layer, and I'll hide this later on. But this is my rough sketch so I can figure out placement and where things need to go and all of that jazz. So this is just, I pulled up a bunch of pictures I did a Google search for mushrooms and found a bunch of cool mushrooms and just kind of figured out what shapes they look like and drew some mushrooms. So I just need to finish up a few different things. The main colors that I want to go with are brown, tans, and red. So most of my mushrooms are going to sort of fit within that category. Whether or not these are true to real life doesn't really matter. That is not my main goal with what I am trying to create. So I do like to have different sizes of mushrooms that I find really nice and really appealing. I think this little guy right here needs a little friend. Now this guy is coming in a little close to here, and so when that happens, I'm just going to do that, and then, oops, gonna scoot him over to the side a little bit. Just because I need to give myself enough space to have a little bit of a background around these so that when I go to put it in the Cricut later, it can actually recognize everything. So that looks beautiful. I like that a lot. Now I kind of want a little small guy right here. I think we're just gonna go with kind of a basic, maybe like a single guy like this, kind of tall and skinny. Now, let's see, where do I have some empty spaces? I like to fit in as many stickers as I possibly can into these. I'm feeling pretty good about that array of mushrooms, so feeling good about it. Now I am going to go in and add a new layer. And so this layer I'm doing as an inking layer, and I'm gonna do sort of my basic line. I like the studio pen right here, and I do all of mine in black. I like a big, strong, like thick outline, so that is what I'm gonna go in with that one. So I'm just gonna go in, make sure I've selected the right layer, and basically start really sketching these guys out and formalizing the shapes and all of that I want. All right, so there we go. It's looking pretty beautiful. Now I'm just going to take out that bottom layer, and then we can see a little bit more clearly what we are working with. So at this point, what I like to do is go in with another layer, and this is where I add in my colors. So for that one, I am going to keep the same studio pen. I do like to bump it up so that it is a size 10. And we're going to go in with some of these different red colors. There we go. And so now I am just going to go in and put in some of the colors that I want in specific places. Ooh. And it is important to bring that layer under the layer for the outlines. And I am not particularly concerned with staying in the lines. I've got all of my mushroom tops nicely colored in. I'm really liking how this looks so far. Now, one thing that I do like to do sometimes, if I'm looking for something that's like really sort of like tonally the same, is I will select that color and then just move over so that it is the same but lighter. That's pretty much it for just like the base color that I want down. Now I am gonna go in and clean up my edges just where I need to, and I'm gonna add in any kind of little shading that I want to have in here. And so for that, I'm just gonna zoom right on in so that I can see where I've got some little wonky bits, like here. Just gonna cut that out. there we go. It's looking pretty beautiful. So I feel very content with the status of my mushrooms. And now this is a really important part of this whole process. This is what makes it the Cricut able, basically, to see what it's doing. We're going to add another layer. And this one is going to go all the way underneath everything. And we want to change our background color so that it is something different. I am going to make my background color, I think, kind of more like a blue, because I really have only got that one. Kind of like that. This way, everything stands out pretty well and you can see this next piece. So now we go back into that last layer that we created, layer number 5, right? We're feeling good about it. And here I go in with an, where is it? Airbrush. I want a hard airbrush. I want my streamline to be all the way up. And this is a flat white. And this goes all the way around the outside of each of these. And this is what makes it able so that the Cricut can recognize what it needs to cut out. Because otherwise it gets really weird after this stage. So now all I'm gonna do is go in and add a little border around all of them. Okay, so that looks pretty beautiful. Now what I'm going to go in and do is turn off all of these layers so that I can go in and color everything in and make sure that this part is fully white and saturated. See, now I'm going to bring it in and see if you can actually see, but right here there's a little teeny tiny piece. That has to do with the fact that it's an airbrush tip. And not everything perfectly lines up because it does kind of like fade out towards the edges. And so sometimes where you have lines meet, that is where it gets a little hazy and not fully opaque and covered. But bring that back in. Okay. That's looking pretty good, pretty covered. Now I'm going to pop everything back in. And there is our completed sticker sheet. It's looking super cute, super adorable. I forgot one thing, and that is on this layer. to go in and do my little spots. Okay, so we took out the background, so we just have these. We want to make sure that all of our other layers are the way they need to be. Everything's looking great. We are going to go here, export it as a PNG, save that image, and now we're going to go into the Cricut design space. I need to upload from my photo library. I want this one because the other one I did the wrong file type. Okay, so now this is going to pop up and you're going to see all of these little shapes right here. It's important that it's a PNG. JPEG does not work the same way, which I just found out. So this way I can see at a glance if there's something like catastrophically wrong with what I'm doing, but it looks pretty okay. So I'm going to go to next. This does look very clean. You would be able to see like right here, they are touching. That's unfortunate, but that's okay. And then you want print and cut. And this is mushrooms. And done. And save. Perfect. So this dude is looking beautiful. So we're going to select that one and insert it. And now we've got this whole thing right here. So I like to make my piece a little bit smaller. And I'm going to go into actions and duplicate. I do want to make sure I give enough space in between these. And then I'm going to drag up, select both of those, and duplicate again. And then I can just put them on so that they are next to each other. I will select all 4 of them now, and I am going to attach them so they are one image. Because from here, if I double click on them, I can redo my size because you can see right here, they're pretty huge. I know that it's 9.75 and they'll be 8 by 8. Okay. What's going on with my layers? Are they too big still? It is. Oh, it's 9.25. Like, because I did the wrong size. Okay. 9.25. Still coming in a little big. So what I need to do is go in here and detach them so that I can scoot stuff up, put it in the corner where it needs to go. Right like so. Okay, so now I've got all these. They are a lot closer together. Gonna attach them, go in, see what my size is, and it will tell you what it needs to be, 6.75. 6.75. Okay, so now I've got all 4 of these on here. I can go ahead and, whoops, put my layers away. That looks beautiful. So I'm going to go over to make it. It'll show you how it's laid out on your sheet. I need to print first. So I'm going to print this to my Canon. I want it to be in color. This is looking beautiful. My Canon does a better print job, so feeling good about that. We're going to print. Alright, so right off the printer, here is the sticker sheet. And that looks pretty stinking adorable, if I do say so myself. I'm pretty pleased with that. So now, we're going to slide this over to the side. And I'm going to put this on my mat. I like to use the light grip mat for my stickers, just because I'm gonna do a kiss cut so it only cuts through the top layer, but every once in a while Cricut really wants to get crazy with how it prints or how it cuts, so it's just a little nice to... Okay, so I'm just gonna mash it down, make sure it's nice and straight. Perfect. Okay, so it is loaded onto my mat. I'm gonna turn my Cricut on. Hopefully this prints the way that it needs to. Okay. We're going to pop it kind of right there. And now over here on the Cricut design space, I'm gonna click continue, select my accessory, which is the Cricut Air 2, Explore Air 2 or whatever it is. Okay, so it is printed. I'm gonna set my material as a sticky note. Got that. Now we're going to load it into the machine and make it. Alright, so it's done cutting. Just gonna eject it from the machine. And there we go. We've got everything cut out. It's looking lovely. The way that I get this off the mat is I flip it over and I push the paper down on the back side and roll my mat away from it. That way, the sticker pages stay pretty straight instead of curling up the way that they can when you pull them off those sticky mats. So now all I do is take my little paper cutter and I'm just going to cut off the black lines first. These are the little print guidelines. I just kind of line it up. Give it a little cut. Because we don't need those in this part of the process. My one complaint with the Cricut really is just how not close to the edge you can print, and so you do end up with more paper waste than I would really like. I'd like to be able to go like fully edge to edge. And now I have got 4 little sticker sheets. Perfect for popping into my planner. So now that I've got this done, I can actually go in and set up September like I've been meaning to. So here's September, and then just to show you guys, right? Let's say I'm gonna take this dude. He's looking beautiful and fabulous. Pop him right off, and he can go into a little place of power right there. And that is how I make all of my sticker sheets. So I hope that was helpful and interesting and all that jazz. If you would like to get a mushroom sticker sheet, they will be in my Etsy shop. So yeah, that'd be super cool. if you guys make any fun stickers, let me know. I'd love to see. So I think that is pretty much that. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more from me about planners and stationery and all that jazz, definitely subscribe, come back, check on me. That would be great. I would love that. And that's pretty much it. I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.